Art, like passion, is best enjoyed without inhibitions.
We're lit, no chill. Some crumbs of academia, mostly chaos. If queer lit is your love language, we're fluent. Listen up, babes. We're not here to tease. We spill everything. Listener discretion is strongly encouraged, but honestly, you knew that. Welcome to Cliterature, the podcast. We're back.
Episode 8.
Episode 8. We're so excited.
Thank you for joining us. If you've been here for all 8 episodes, special thanks.
Yeah, you're the real OGs.
Yes. Shout out Cliterati. Listen, we're going to start this episode with a little bit of a disclaimer. I don't know what time it is when you're listening to this, but it is currently almost 11 p.m. where we are. It's the latest we've ever recorded. We're a little goofy. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
And so
Little
if we're a little,
delulu.
if we're a little giddly. See, this is...
We're a little what?
I don't know. I think I just tried to
Like
put 3 words
giggly
in
and
one.
diddly? Or like, what are you?
Listen, don't judge me. I just said it was 11 p.m. Okay. It's your fault that we're still up right now.
I know, I'm sorry. I had rehearsal.
I'm old and this
I'm
is
so
way past my
sorry.
bedtime. But
Yeah.
we want to talk about this book.
Yes.
And today we are talking about Balancing Act by Cass Morgan, which coincidentally, we did not plan it, but I read and you read during the Olympics. And
Yeah.
Jamie, one of your main characters here, is a former Olympian, 7-time Olympic
Yeah.
gold medalist, I believe.
Yeah, gymnastics.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorites from the Olympics?
Well, it's the Winter Olympics this time. And I do love like a weird sport. So
What, like curling?
Oh, yeah. I'm big into curling. I love curling. And there was some drama with the curling this year. Well,
Drama?
So, yeah, you should check it out. It was like some shit went down with the curling.
Oh.
I've never been into skiing. Like growing up in Alabama, we don't really have a lot of snow here.
Yeah.
So skiing wasn't a thing that was available to me.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of like cross country relays and like I don't know what the name of it is, but they like ski for a little bit and then they like lay down and shoot and then they get up
yeah.
and they ski for some more.
Yeah.
Like stuff like those. I got really into that.
Like obscure Olympic
Like-
sports?
Like the weird ones. Speed skating caught me
Dude.
this year.
Have you, like the muscles on the inside of their knees? Like I'd never seen a knee muscle.
First of
like,
all, how do they have like pants that fit those people? Their
Dude.
thigh muscles are
Thick. I like it.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
That was the wrong podcast. But yeah, I don't know how they find pants to fit because their thigh muscles are legit. So yeah, I got into that. I'm not like hot take, not super into
Figure skating? Dude.
Or as it was described to me recently as like dancing with razor blades on your feet.
Yeah, that's scary. That's an Olympic sport.
It is.
It's
And I mean,
scary.
it's scary. And it takes a lot of talent, like props to them. It's just not my jam.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I think I need a little bit more action or something. I don't know. It's just, it also feels like to me, as someone who is not trained in dance or figure skating or anything like that, just kind of feels like the same moves in different orders.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, we don't know how the judge. I mean, I guess we do know how the judges score, but like it's all about technicality
but
and
it is like super hard, and props to everyone who even attempts it because
I'm just obsessed with the
can't.
chick that won gold because
Oh.
she's so phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
I loved that she did not care whether or not she won. I mean, obviously she cared. She's in the Olympics. She
Yeah.
wants to win, but she was just so like graceful and excited to be there and like happy and smiling, and like her hair was badass and she has a cool
That's what I was going
frenulum
to say.
piercing.
I did
and like,
loved that there seems to there's more representation and like diversity
yeah.
in sports in general and Olympic sports in general, but specifically I feel like figure skating has been more of a conservative sport overall, especially in appearances because, you know, it's just kind of like you fit into that mold.
Yeah.
And like we saw more women who were competing in like pants instead of like
Yeah.
skirts. And then you had her who was like, she was
Like
pierced
alternative,
and
you
really
know,
alternative.
kind of- yeah.
Yeah. Like I would have like seen
I
her at the
loved it.
local punk show, I feel
Yeah.
like. So like I was down for that for sure. And like congratulations to her. That was really fun to watch. My wife is super into the figure skating, so we did watch a lot of that.
Nice.
But yeah, I really liked like the more obscure ones, and also women's hockey.
Yeah.
Women's hockey.
They don't get enough
Period.
cred.
Women's hockey. So excited about that. In this book too, I am a women's sports fan. I'm literally wearing a hat. This is everyone watches women's sports right now.
I can attest. She is. I'm staring at it.
Yes, thank you. I am super into women's sports in general and women's representation in sports. And like right now, I'm living for Unrivaled, which is the women's 3-on-3 league that happens during the WNBA off season.
Oh.
And so I loved that this book was full of women's sports representation and also talked about the just unfairness that is women and their compensation and the promotion of women's sports and everything. So this book hit on a lot of levels for me for that.
Yeah.
So
also the nonprofit that she got.
Yeah, that Jamie got into. Like,
the nonprofit that Jamie got into later in the book was really cool because you don't ever think about what athletes do after they retire. I mean, most of them are still young when they retire. So of course they would
especially
have some
like
kind of
gymnasts like Jamie, because I mean, I can't quote like an accurate, statistic, but I feel like the average career span of a gymnast ends pretty early, on.
So the nonprofit to support the transitioning into like the workforce.
And not just that, but it also just supported investing in women's sports.
Yeah.
Which is something that, for one, doesn't happen enough. I mean, everyone knows that women athletes don't get paid what male athletes do.
Yeah.
They don't get the endorsement deals. They don't get the primetime TV slots, things like that. I mean, the Unrivaled League was literally created because professional female basketball players don't get paid enough to support their families.
Wow.
And so some players got together and created this league so that these women could make money in the off season without having to travel overseas to go play in like European league. But just the like getting people to invest in women's sports so that these athletes can make enough money to then retire or not have to worry about how they're going to feed their family should they get injured and not be able to play to retirement or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, I think I loved that was in this book, and that was a big part of it, and how Jamie kind of healed part of herself and her, she had to, if you've read the book, you realize that Jamie was a professional gymnast, now gymnastics coach, brought in to coach the teenage daughter of her love interest, Beth, the real smoking hot artist.
Oh yeah.
Is she has like some trauma a little bit around her athletic career because
and like having to leave early.
Yeah. It ended very abruptly due to unfortunate cancer diagnosis. And so I think she had a lot of unfinished business, which is why coming back to coach Lily was a little bit tough. I mean, it even said that she was a kind of a silent partner in this gym with her best friend, and she was more of the money, and Amanda, her best friend, ran it. But Lily was kind of a special case. And so Amanda thought that Jamie was the best person to help her, and she was.
Yeah.
But I love that she ended up taking all of that and turning it into something that's going to help promote women's sports.
Yeah.
Overall.
Side question that I just thought of after, like while you were talking. If you win the Olympics, do you get paid money? Like if you win a gold medal, or do you just like, obviously you're going to get a ton of sponsors and like endorsements, but
I mean, I'm no expert. I've never won an Olympic medal nor competed in the Olympics in any form of fashion.
I just wonder, because like, where did Jamie's money come from?
I mean, I think it's more of an endorsement thing.
Okay. For her to like be able to invest in businesses or invest in
I don't know that you
necessarily,
necessarily, I don't think there's money involved. Like you get a gold medal and a check for $50,000 or something. I don't think it's like that. I think it's more of you get sponsorships and stuff.
I'll have to look that up.
That's probably something. Anybody out there listening who knows, drop us a DM. Obviously, we're unsure and not Olympians ourselves.
No.
So, but
if you were to be an Olympian...
Oh, I know this answer right now. What sport would I do?
Sport would you do?
Okay, and this is another one that I became obsessed with during this Winter Olympics.
Okay.
I would do the skeleton.
What's the
Which
skeleton?
is the one where you go face first down the ice track on
Are you
your
kidding
stomach.
me?
No, and I'll tell you why. For one, a statistic I found out this Olympics is that is the safest of all of like the ice sledding.
Face first?
Yes, because your center of gravity is the lowest. If you think of like sitting in a bobsled, you're like sitting up.
Okay.
Your center of gravity is higher, so you're more likely to turn over. So the luge, which is where you're on your back, and the skeleton, which is where you're going face first. I think, and this is coming from absolutely nothing but made up things in my head that seem like they make sense to me. In my head, it seems easier to steer going face forward than it is laying on your back, because you're like, the bulk of your body is forward on the sled, so you can kind of adjust a little easier when you're going through corners, as opposed to like laying on your back and like having to adjust using like your hips and your legs. Also, it just seems like it would be like flying, going face first down there.
Yeah.
And I am the type of person that I am probably not going to do anything if it's like super duper hard, because at this point in my life, let's be real, I'm kind of lazy and tired. I'm old. But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to pick what looks like the most fun or the hardest.
Okay.
This looks like it could be both.
Okay. I like
But yeah,
it.
I would do the skeleton, but I would, or any of the like ice track. I like speed. Like, I would have loved to have been a race car driver in another life. And stuff
Okay.
like that.
I'm learning stuff that's new about you.
So like, yeah, the just flying really fast down this like icy track seems like a hell of a lot of fun to me.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it looks like fun.
If not that, curling.
Curling. I think that I would be a curler. I do. I would want to be a curler.
So
I
you
think
know
that
we can do that here.
in Huntsville?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Okay, so yeah, there's a whole curling league. Like, I know a guy who's like over it. We can go curl anytime you want.
I want to try.
Okay, I'll set
Okay.
it up. We'll go curl. We'll do a special episode. Cliterature goes curling.
Cliterature on ice.
Oh, we are definitely past our bedtime,
Okay.
guys. Thanks. Thanks for being here.
So the book.
Sports. Sports.
We also go to trivia every now and then.
And it's a tradition that when this category is sports, everyone just yells sports. So yeah, as we've touched on, we've got Jamie, former Olympian. Beth,
Yes. Artist.
smoking hot artist.
Yes, I was all about Beth.
I
was not like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like most people would probably be like, ooh, dark, curly hair, mysterious, Olympian. I'm all into it. And I'm like, give me the blonde 40-something artist.
Can we just say
please.
everyone in this book seemed like a smoke show?
Yeah, that's
I
true. I mean,
Sarah
everybody.
in her power suits.
Yes.
I feel like everyone was attractive.
Everybody sounded very attractive in this book.
So we've got Jamie, former Olympian.
Yeah.
We've got Beth, artist. The book starts off with them at Beth's last gallery showing of this year-long art tour that she has been on. And they hook up.
It's
for
great.
a good time. Because
Yeah.
Beth's like, you know what? I'm single. I'm ready to mingle. I'm going to celebrate this like huge thing that I've done with this year-long tour that was very successful. This chick is hot.
So she like takes her back in the art gallery.
They don't
like,
even
out-
leave the building.
Yeah,
they're
they're
in
like
her studio. And
hot.
I will say, Cass, props for
Yeah.
not making us wait.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah,
spice.
no, that was quick.
You came out of the gate and I appreciated it.
Loved it. I was immediately hooked.
Yes. So yeah, they hook up. They like, intention is that it's going to be a one night stand, but they kind of get a little interrupted halfway through. So
Yeah.
they don't get to like fully finish. and so they they exchange numbers and make plans to kind of finish the one night stand a little bit later.
Yeah.
And before they can do that, we find out that Jamie has been brought in to coach Beth's daughter, Lily. As her gymnastics coach.
She's also phenomenal as a gymnast, and she is on the track to making the Olympic team.
Yes.
And so they brought in Jamie to coach her so that she can make it into the Olympics.
Right.
Because she's 15 and she'd be the youngest.
She would beat Jamie. Jamie was the youngest.
Yeah.
And if Lily makes it, spoiler alert, she does. She will beat Jamie by like a few months and become the youngest. But Jamie and Lily have a lot of like parallels in their Olympic career, which is why Jamie was brought in and works out very well. Also, shout out to Lily for being a teenager and also half the time the most mature
Dude, yeah.
in this entire book.
She was really grounded.
She had her shit together in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But sometimes more so than the adults in her life.
Yeah.
And I really liked having a character, like a teenage character. A lot of times you see like teenagers, they're bratty.
Yeah.
They're teenagers.
They're like, I hate you, Mom.
Yeah. And she worked her ass off for her sport.
Yeah.
And then was also just really mature emotionally,
Yeah.
but also very much a teenager at the same time.
That's true. And I loved the dynamic of co-parenting and having a daughter with your ex and navigating, showing up for your kid for all of these sporting events and always having to be together, and like the dynamic of trying to make sure that she has like a solid family unit, that she feels supported on both sides, and like not fighting parents, not parents that are like rivals or gonna like try to pull her in different directions. It was a really great relationship. I mean, other than the fact that Sarah and Beth were still hooking up there for a minute.
Yeah. So Sarah is Beth's ex-wife, also Lily's other mom.
Yep.
And I'll be honest, there were a few moments earlier on where Sarah kind of gave me the creeps a little bit. In that, I wasn't sure for a minute how she was going to end up.
I was waiting for her to be toxic.
Yeah.
Like, I was waiting for her to be a toxic ex. And maybe that's from all of the books that I
that's
usually
how most
read.
Of them are,
most of the exes are like toxic or shitty, or like there's a reason that you broke up. And like, obviously there's a reason that they broke up, but it was
they were
mature,
very dedicated to being solid co-parents. And this was, I felt like, a master class in co-parenting.
Oh my God.
Cass
Yeah.
wrote here. So yeah, take notes if you need them. Like, I felt like this was the way it should be done. But yeah, they were still kind of hooking up because they had been together since college.
I mean, and yeah, I feel like Beth talks about like when it's her point of view, because it does switch point of view.
Yeah.
In this book, back and forth between Jamie and Beth. And I thought, there was a couple of points where Beth would talk about choosing comfort or familiarity.
Or falling back into old patterns.
Yeah. It's easy to do that when you've been with somebody for so long and you share a life and you share a kid and like share a schedule. And like, I'm sure that was much easier to do than set boundaries and find somebody new, or set boundaries and not find somebody new. But I'm sure it's easier. It's always easier to fall back into what you know,
especially considering they weren't like, it wasn't like a volatile breakup situation.
Like, she wasn't toxic.
Right.
They just weren't.
But there were moments where it would talk about like, she would like squeeze Beth's leg under the table, or like kind of possessively put her hand on her back. And there were a couple of moments of jealousy and things that popped up, which were to be expected.
Yeah.
But it was like little bitty moments where in my head, I think I did default to, she's gonna be crazy at some point. And then
again, those little moments are familiar. Like those are,
and
things
they made
like
sense overall. But I think, like you said, we're just so used to these
toxic exes
being played out to like one of them's going to be villainized, that I was waiting for it. But
I kept waiting for Sarah to suck, and she didn't. She didn't suck at all.
She was a solid like co-parent,
which is great because Cass's next book in the Soulmate series is all about Sarah.
And I want to see how this turns out, because from the sound of it, she's going to have her hands cut out with this interest. You got to look it up. I read a little bit about it today.
Yeah.
Because you get a little peek at the end of the book on who may be her love interest in this next one. And
I know something
it's
something about like a billionaire ice queen.
It's got my attention, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, no, I'm here for it for sure. And I feel like Sarah needs to get hers. So
I would like to point out, though, I did discover a little bit of something about myself with this book.
Yeah, okay.
I appreciate when I'm talking to people who read books, obviously.
Book people.
Bibliophiles. I love a trope in general. She just cracked herself up, y'all. It's so late.
I'm sorry.
I love a trope in general. It's just like in real life, I love a stereotype. I know they can be problematic, but some of them are funny to me.
Yeah.
And I like kind of playing into them a little bit. But tropes are like the same way. You know, I like a one bed situation.
Yeah.
I like an enemies to lovers.
Yeah.
I like a friends to lovers. This hit on a very specific trope that I knew that I liked, but had never really identified.
Yeah.
And that is where two people hook up very casually, like one night stand style.
Yeah.
And then the next moment they find out that they're somehow like connected Like in this case, Beth and Jamie
Jamie
hook up thinking it's just going to be casual fun, you know.
And then Beth walks into the gym
And then
with Lily
like,
and is like, oh shit, you're the new coach.
And
oh, no.
also, I thought it was a pretty funny moment where Jamie had like a minute thinking that she had been like the other woman because
she thought she was still with
she
Sarah.
thought
Sarah was there too.
Sarah was the wife. Sarah's
Yeah.
the ex-wife.
Yeah.
But like she was like, this chick was married the whole time. No.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but this whole like that whole situation of like you hook up, it's kind of like, you know, you sleep with someone and then you go to work the next day and find out that they're your
New boss.
Your new boss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. I love that. I mean, live for that shit.
Yeah,
So,
eat it up.
Absolutely loved it.
I love that too. Yeah, I didn't realize that was such a prevalent trope, but I
feel like it's like a offshoot of like forced proximity
for sure,
basically. But I just love that very specific of we're
like,
going to hook up once as like a one night stand,
and then you're
forced
to
you
be
are
with
forced
them.
to be together, and probably in some like weirdly embarrassing way.
Yeah, I love that. It's not just like forced into being in a hotel room or whatever. Like,
no, it's like we're connected. You're my best friend's mom.
Exactly.
You know, I'm coaching your daughter in gymnastics to get her to the Olympics. And
I will
Jamie
say, like,
had a no sleeping with the parents.
I was about to
rule.
say, I will say the fact that Jamie was like, okay, boundaries, like I'm never
Full
doing
stop.
this again. Full stop. We're just friends. And Beth is like, oh, darn.
Oh, dang it.
Dang it. You know, my lady bits didn't feel like we should cut things off. But okay, sure.
Listen, I had a discussion with my lady bit. They don't agree with
They
you.
don't agree with you.
But okay.
Whatever you say, I'll respect your boundaries.
How many
Jamie
times can
is
we say
younger.
lady bits right now?
Lady bits.
Lady bit. Jamie's younger.
Jamie is younger. She's in her 30s. Beth is 40s.
Yes.
Divorced, teenage daughter. I feel like she is very much, I don't know, like she was maternal in a way that was like, okay, I'm good. Like she was much better at respecting boundaries than I think I would have been. I would have been like...
Well, I like that Jamie set these boundaries, but then had to fight herself to like maintain them.
Yeah.
Jamie was the one I felt like more...
She's like, I'm thinking about her all the time.
Yeah. So
I'm going to text her. Am I going to text? I don't know if I'm going to text her.
Should I text her?
Should I text her? Like, and then...
Like, girl, just text her.
Just text her. That's the whole thing.
From
like,
your Sprinter van in the parking lot of the gym.
This was a wonderful story. Beautiful romance. We got breakups. We got happy endings. You know, it followed suit. But also, there were so many, like, the communication in this book.
Yes.
Top tier. And just like...
It reminded me a lot of like what we talked about with
learning curves.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's late. My brain stopped.
No,
working.
I knew where you were going because I
So,
thought the same thing.
Yeah, it gave me learning curve vibes in that it was very healthy and like I wanted to take notes on how
because
they were
there was a
communicating.
lot. There was like Jamie had a lot of stuff that she needed to work through,
Yeah.
and obviously Beth did too. Hers was more like family and what Sarah's role was in their family, and if she was going to try to go back to the family and like go back to that comfort.
And she
versus
had a lot
like
of guilt too. She had been gone for a whole year.
yeah,
on this.
she thought that Lily wanted her moms to be together.
Yeah.
Like she thought, like I think she and Sarah thought that Lily would be happier if they were just like one big happy family, which is why they were trying to have these like weekly dinners and like make sure that everybody was good. But when it came down to it, they had the conversation and Lily was like, I don't want y'all together. Yeah, don't get back together. I don't want y'all together. You're not good for each other. And this is a 15-year-old, but like sometimes from the mouth of babes, kids tell the truth. You know what I mean? Like she's like, no, you're not good for each other. I don't want you to get back together. I like how it is now. And I don't know why y'all are trying to fuck it up, which she didn't say that, but you know, same premise. But there was just, Jamie had a lot of trauma to work through. She was terrified of being with anybody because of her breast cancer and her diagnosis.
So I was thinking about this a lot while I was reading this because Jamie is a runner. And one of the reasons
not a runner as in an athlete, but like a person that runs away from conflict.
Yeah. Or when she's like, feels like things are getting too deep or
fight
too
or
serious,
flight. She's out.
She's all flight.
Yeah.
No fight. I was thinking a lot about this because one of her main motivations is not wanting to basically like hurt other people
or be a burden.
She feels
gets
like
sick
she's
again.
living on borrowed time basically.
Yeah.
And what's the point of doing this when it's just going to hurt the other person and she's not going to be able to be there or whatever? Or this other person is going to have to go through with taking care of her if she gets sick and things like that. And so she's doing it on the surface and telling herself she's doing it to protect the other person. everyone knows in the bottom line, it's a self-preservation
Fear
thing.
Yeah.
But I was thinking a lot about this because we had this conversation with Ladies in Hating.
Yeah.
In that Georgiana kept pushing everybody away.
and thinking that she was poisoned and that she was
poisoned.
protecting people if she pushed them away.
And I didn't really understand it because I thought about it from Georgiana's point of view and understood where she was coming from. I felt the opposite in this one. I totally understood what you were saying in this book. And that I was like, Jamie, let Beth make this decision for herself.
You have to give that partner the benefit of the doubt, and you have to give them choice. You have to give them the chance to make the decision. Yes, okay, Jamie, you had breast cancer, you have the BRCA gene. They said it's not if it comes back, it's when it comes back. So you're expecting to have breast cancer again, and you're expecting to have to go through all of this again. I understand that that's terrifying to you, but you don't get to choose whether or not Beth is capable of handling that.
Yeah.
You get to tell her your truth and you get to tell her what you're expecting, but you have to let her make that decision.
Right.
Because she has free will. She's a human being too. And that's she gets to make that choice.
I totally understand now what you were saying because I wanted to just grab Jamie and shake her and tell her to be
I'm like, it's not your choice. And Beth says that at some point.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think she says, I get to choose. You don't get to tell
make this
me
choice for me. Yeah.
If I'm gonna, if I can be there for you, or if it's too much for me. You don't get to say if it's too much for me. I get to choose what's too much for me.
Right.
Which, hell yeah, Beth.
Preach, sister.
Preach.
Yeah, and I do think Beth was a lot more of the instigator in the healthy conversations. I felt like in this one, and kind of forced Jamie's hand a lot of times because Jamie's instinct was to just flee.
Yeah. But it was all in the name of healthy communication and transparency. And honestly, I can't imagine having a date with a kid. So I feel like that just added another layer that she was like, I need all of the cards out on the table. I need to know where your head is and what you're thinking, because it's not just me that you're dating. You're also dating me, and my 15-year-old daughter is part of it.
And kind of the ex-wife, because
and Sarah,
because they have the kid together, they're always going to be
and she's the coach of their, they're always going to be connected.
There's so much happening between all of these people.
The web is thick.
It is. And so I do think, by the time we get to the end, it's one big happy, modern family style thing. And I love that. There is the cute moment at the end where I think at one point you can tell when it's Jamie and Beth finally decide that they can't fight anymore. They're going to date. Thank God we got there.
Yeah.
The ending that we all were rooting for.
Yeah.
And they have to tell Sarah, obviously. And then at some point, tell Lily as well, which she is excited because she thinks Jamie hung the moon.
Yeah.
But I was interested to see, because at that point in the book, Sarah had gone from feeling a little creepy to me to I understood her more and understood where she was coming from. And her and Beth had that great conversation of Beth being we're not going to get back together.
Yeah.
That's not a thing that's going to happen. It's not healthy for anyone. And Sarah even had this great moment of being I just want you to be happy.
Yeah.
Basically. That's what I want. And I understand that's not going to be with me, and I'm not going to stand in your way of being happy. But nobody's that perfect. Right?
No, nobody's that
nobody's
perfect.
that perfect.
And I did like that she showed her fear a little about, even when when Beth told her that she was dating Jamie, and she was like, I'm so happy for you. I'm glad you're happy, blah, blah, blah. But also, I don't want to lose our family.
Right.
Just don't, she said, don't shut me out, or don't ice me out, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you and I want you to follow this and go, but just I'm that fear of
part of it. Yeah.
I've lost my marriage because they're already divorced. I've lost that family unit. But now we've figured out this really cool thing that we're doing, and we're doing really well. But now we're going to add somebody else into that.
Yeah.
I'm scared that you're
going to be split between it. Yeah. And I love the moment where I think they're out on the deck is what they are. And it's just Jamie and Sarah. And you can kind of tell Sarah has tried very hard to hide it. Because Sarah, if you look up type A in the dictionary, it's just a picture of Sarah Gallagher. So she is all about keeping her emotions in check. And she's done very well, but there have been moments where you can tell that little bit of sadness and that little bit of jealousy has peeked through. And we have this moment of the two of them alone on this deck. And you're like, is this the moment? Is she just going to tell Jamie off?
Yeah.
Is this where it's going to happen? And she doesn't. She actually like goes the opposite and gives her like a little like insight into like what it's like to date Beth.
Yeah.
And which is great, but you can tell like underneath she's a little bit sad. And that kind of really rounded her out and solidified her as like a character for me. And I really liked that moment between the two of them as well.
You know, I do feel like I know it, like the communication in this book, like I said, was so good, and it's not usual the way that they were so good at having conversations that are hard. Like that's not usual. And I think that it's really great that we have a book like this to show us. And we talked about this in Learning Curves too. Like it was really great for us to see that good, healthy communication to model for like us, you know.
Well, and I like that, again, not just the communication, but the healthy the whole situation with the co-parenting and the divorce and everything. I feel like, again, we even said it in this episode where we were expecting it to be volatile just because that's how it always is. Yeah. And this was not.
And it doesn't have to be either.
Yeah. And
like that's the whole thing. Like I was waiting for it because that's what we usually read, but it wasn't necessary to have a good story. Obviously it wasn't because we enjoyed the book. So, I mean, the fact that Sarah isn't toxic and we also get her love story next, like, I mean, I don't know if it's a love story. We don't know. I'm assuming it's a love story.
I mean,
who knows?
It's the Soulmate series.
So I don't know. Whatever. Maybe
we'll find out.
Maybe you can be your own soulmate. Who knows? You know, we don't know.
Listen, I very much believe that soulmates come in all shapes, sizes, and forms. Like you can have romantic soulmates, you can have platonic soulmates. Like there can be all kinds of soulmates. I do believe this one's going to be romantic though. In some way. In some way.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I will say this, and this is kind of side steps into something that I wanted to bring up in this. Is that this book was a tough read for me, and it had absolutely nothing to do with the book itself. Yeah. Book is fantastic, well written, characters are like great, like we've said, everything is like very good, healthy example, and broke a lot of the stereotypes that we were expecting in a book with it like this. But I realized while reading this book that I was in probably one of the worst reading slumps that I've ever been in.
Yeah. Okay.
Like in my like reading journey over the past few years.
In my life.
And so side note, if you don't know, I was not always a reader. I've been a reader since I was a kid. I've loved reading, but I was not like a big reader as like a teenager and like early adulthood. It hasn't been up until like the past like 5 or 6 years that I've really started enjoying and really getting into reading. And so I've never really had like a slump like this before. Yeah. And I realized that I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to read for reading's sake and not for enjoyment or entertainment or anything. Yeah. I do.
Regardless of the book.
Regardless of the book. Yeah, absolutely. And so I was like, so I'm reading this book and I'm like, it's good. Yeah. Like it's good. Why am I not having a good time reading it? And why is it feeling like this is just like, you know,
a have to instead of a want to?
And I realized that for one, I was in the reading slump, like that kind of, but also I feel like during that times like that, reading certain books, you're just not, it's not the time to read them. Yeah. I really love this book, but I want to go back and read it at a different time as well and see if I love it even more then. Because I read, like, I'm broken. Something's wrong. Like, I got to fix this, right?
I'm broken.
I
don't feel anything.
Because
I
this book checked all the boxes. Yeah. Why am I not just like tearing up these pages, you know? And it felt like very much like a long, like I had this conversation with a friend while I was reading it, and I was like, I'm looking at this page count, man, and this, I'm not making progress, but it feels like I have read all these pages. Yeah. And she was like, there's a difference in the physical length of a book and the spiritual and emotional length of a book. And I was like, that's just it. I was like, spiritually, this book feels like twice as long as what it was. And it was because my brain just wasn't in the moment to process it. Yeah. Yeah. And And I was shocked because, again, this is right up my alley of things that I should love. It had women's sports. It had, lesbians. What more do you need?
Honestly.
That's, if you look me up, like, those are
Women's
the things
sports
that I'm
and
looking
lesbians.
for. Women's sports and lesbians. And some spice.
Yeah.
And you've got Dee's perfect book.
Yeah.
But, and so it really made me, like, stop and contemplate that. And also, like, the pressure that I think can be put out there in the, like, influencer social media book talk world.
I feel that a lot, just because, like, I know that we only do one book a month, which is, like, usually podcasts are cranking out, like, episodes every week, and we talked very specifically before we started this, like, we're not gonna read a book a week or even do 2 weeks, because we're going to get burned out, and I don't want to burn out on something that I love so much, like we set a goal to do one book a month, but if it comes down to it 1 month and we can't do it, like, that's fine. And I know that we have listeners that would be disappointed, but sometimes life disappoints you. I'm not going to take away from my joy when I'm reading just to, like, tick a box when it comes to, like, random goals that I didn't even set for myself.
Yeah. Like, and if you're one of these people, fantastic.
Oh yeah. If you can do it, go for it.
Who are, like, reading 150 books or 170, 200, whatever books a year, like, fantastic.
Yeah.
Also, please send me tips. How do you read that much?
I don't know. Like, I don't think I could absorb that much. I don't think I could absorb that many stories in a year. Yeah. Like, maybe I could, but honestly, like, when I read a book, I usually, like, sit with it for a few days before I pick up something else.
Well, and I read multiple books at one time. Yeah. And that was something that wasn't, I told myself wasn't going to change when we started this podcast, because, again, I still wanted to read for fun and for entertainment, outside of reading for this project.
You got to have a side book.
Yeah, we got to have a side book.
You got to have that side piece. Yeah, always.
Side piece.
Yeah.
I've got 3 or 4 side pieces now when we're talking about books. But but yeah, so I was worried because I was like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
This book is checking all the boxes. Why does it feel harder to read than other books of basically similar, situations? And I realized that it was just like I was in a reading slump.
Yeah.
And that was okay.
Yeah.
I still loved the book.
Yeah.
But my brain, I think, needed action or something else, or dragons. I don't know what I was in the mood for.
I will say this book was very much like it was emotions heavy and, like, feelings
Lots of
heavy.
Feelings. Yeah.
And if you weren't in the mood for feelings, or you were having your own feelings that couldn't be layered with, fiction feelings, then I feel like, that is very fair and valid. Yeah. And I think that is...
And again, no shade to the book. It was all a me problem and not a book problem. But I wanted to address that because I don't think that I don't hear a lot of people who are in similar worlds as we are talking about reading slumps and talking about how it's okay if you don't read. I'm a data nerd as well. And so and seeing numbers on pages is very motivating to me in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. So I track not only, like, how many books I read a year or whatever, but I go break it down to, like, how many pages I read per day, or minutes to, or an audiobook I listen to, or whatever. Usually it's pages per day. And I track that in my planner every day. And I can tell you, the month of February, it was sucky. Like, there were so many days that I tracked 0 pages.
Yeah.
And I was so hard on myself for a lot of that, because I was like, oh, I got to be reading. And I was like, why
do I have to be reading?
Yeah. What is this pressure I'm putting on myself out there? I read the book that we had, set out to read for the podcast. I read another book.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah.
Which is what also led me into the fact that I needed some action, because it was a pretty action heavy, spooky book.
And got you out of that slump.
It kind of helped get me out of that slump. But again, I also think that it is good to reread books at different points.
Yeah, because you might feel something different if you are in a different headspace.
Yes. And I love rereading books just because I always pick up on more of the nuance and stuff. But yeah. So I just want to bring that up in that, like...
Yeah, for sure.
I felt like there was a lot of growth in myself on this, and like releasing some of those expectations that I put on myself of like, you've got to read a gajillion books a year and all this stuff. And having a conversation with that same friend who she does read like 100 plus books a year. And at one point was very much in like the book influencer world. Yeah. I was like, how we were having this conversation on that. And she was like, she was choosing to read books for the numbers, like the quantity for the year, and would choose not to read a book that she really wanted to read because it was thicker or because it was a harder read. Yeah. You know, it was, you know, more complicated or something like that, because it would take her longer and she could read 3 other books in the time she could read that one book. And so she was actively not reading books she really wanted to read because she felt that pressure of meeting this goal.
It's so crazy that as humans, we put expectations on ourselves that have no footing whatsoever. Like, why do we, like, I set a reading goal every year. Like, I'm going to read 35 books and like, but I don't feel guilty about it. But I mean, I feel like I could feel like I'm going to read if it makes me feel joy. I'm going to read if I like the book. I'm going to read if I have extra time and it feels good to read at that moment. But like, why are we like that? Where we're like, I didn't read today. Oh my God. I had to write down, you know, like, why do we put that kind of pressure on ourselves? It should always be about finding joy. We got to Marie Kondo our entire brain. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Why are we not just looking for glimmers instead of like, oh no, I disappointed no one. Like, nobody even knows I'm a disappointment that I didn't read today.
Are you going to be my friend if I don't read 150 books a year?
Yeah. Yes. Duh.
Okay.
I don't even know how many books you read last year.
50.
Okay. Well, good for you.
My goal this year is 65 if anybody wants to know. But that's going to be like, that's a push in it. That's a push in it goal. So we're going to see. But yeah, I mean, no shade if you read 150, 250, 365 books a year.
Yeah, good for you.
Please, Jesus, know that I am more than impressed with that.
But again, nobody needs you to be impressed. That's what I'm saying. It's a personal thing.
If you don't read that, you are also just as impressive. So just know that. But yeah, so long story short, I realized I was putting a lot of pressure on myself that I didn't need to be. And I lightened up.
Just chill out. Yeah, chill the fuck out, man.
Yeah, cool.
Read a book if you want to. Don't read a book if you don't want to. I mean, read our books, obviously, because we have to talk about them.
But still listen to the podcast. I mean, we have listeners.
I have a lot of listeners that are like, I don't read the books, but I listen to you guys talk about them, which is awesome. Yeah. Love you for that.
Love you. Absolutely. So yeah. Also, just backing up a little bit, if anyone does have recs of this specific trope of one night stand hookups that turn out to be like intertwined somehow in their lives, throw them my way. Apparently I'm real here for this. So I want more books like that. So yeah, overall, a solid book for me.
Oh yeah.
Super
no, it was
solid.
so great.
Super solid.
I think that I learned a lot about, like I said, like I feel like I learned a lot about emotional maturity and healthy communication. Like, it's easy to get in the thick of, like, you and I are both married. I've been married for almost 9 years. You've been married for
a long time.
and together for way longer than I was before we got
like
married.
16, 17 years.
So we have been through our share of like trying to figure out how to communicate your feelings to your partner, and everybody goes through seasons. And so it's really fucking tough to stay with somebody for a really long time, and you have to learn how to navigate that stuff. And I feel like reading books like this is really healthy for me and good for me, because it challenges whether or not I'm using those techniques in my own relationship. And so I feel like I learned a lot from this book.
I want more books like this. I want more books that illustrate healthy communication in the midst of conflict.
Because life is not pretty. And like you said earlier, like, nobody's perfect. Sarah, she answers in the perfect way. Like, I support you. I want you to be happy. There's a lot underneath that as a human. Like, you're going to be jealous. You're going to be sad. But the fact that you can feel those feelings and also be supportive is so refreshing. Because usually on TV and other media, we're going to see that toxic ex. We're going to see the toxic person that's like, I hate it. I'm going to ruin it. I don't want you to be happy. I want you to be with me. Even if you're, And we need to see more of that support, because those people are out there. I don't know if it's me.
I want it to be me. I'm taking notes so that hopefully it can be me.
I'm trying to reach that growth milestone. Yeah. But I would be way closer to it if I consumed more media like this.
Yeah. So please keep dishing it out. Yeah. We're here for it. Yeah. Cass, thank you. My marriage thanks you. My wife is going to thank you at some point. So you out here doing the hard work. Yeah. But yeah, I agreed. I think that was one of my favorite things about this book was just how healthy everything was in the midst of all of this huge conflict. Yeah. There was a lot going on. I mean, they had the stress of getting Lily to the Olympics. You had Jamie, the cancer scares, dealing with her just shit around being, a former Olympian and athlete, and then being back in that world now with coaching Lily. You've got the divorce between Sarah and Beth and dealing with that. And then Beth's art. I mean, she goes through like some artist block situations during this book as well. And so, there's a lot going on in this, and through it all, even when it wasn't pretty, it was still handled very well. And so I just loved it so much.
I don't know, like I think that transparency in general can do so much I guess maybe not if the person that you're being transparent with isn't ready to receive that. If they're not ready to receive your transparency and your truth, then I feel like it could go poorly. But in a perfect world, in a happy world, or in a more balanced world, I feel like this book was all the characters were very transparent about their feelings. Yeah. Even Jamie, she came around to it. And I think that's probably from being around Beth. Yeah.
Oh, it was Beth's influence for sure. And I don't think between that and Amanda just not giving her an option and just making her deal with her shit finally.
Yeah. Which everybody needs a friend like that.
Everybody needs an Amanda.
Yeah.
For sure. I think, solid book, solid 4. For me, the spice, I only gave it a 3 on the spice scale. Just because I will say this book, and you and I had this conversation too of, again, I think this is just kind of expectation versus not necessarily expectation, but like
the difference between spice and smut.
Well, we had this conversation before of like everyone I feel like is assuming that if a book is spicy, that it's also smutty.
Smutty. Yeah.
And this was very much spice.
Tasteful spice.
Yeah. So I feel like
it was there. It was good.
Yeah.
It was just very tasteful.
Listen,
I mean, we didn't
never
have
look in an art studio the same way again. Also, just realized second book with art studio spicy vibes.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, because
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, this one was painting instead of pottery, but
same
vibes.
Yeah, same vibe.
So
well,
apparently
creation.
We love a hot artist.
We do love a hot artist.
But yeah, I think it was very tastefully done.
Yeah.
Still very hot, but also not graphic in any kind of way. So I feel like
spice.
If you aren't a fan
of super heavy smut,
I think this one still could be in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Because it was very well written. So I think definitely excited to see what goes on in Breadwinner.
Yeah.
Which is
can't
the
wait.
next book in the series that follows Sarah.
Which is going to be so great.
Yeah. I'm interested to see. Because again, like I said, I had some mixed feelings about her at the beginning of this.
Yeah.
She won me over towards the end. But I do think she's an interesting person. So I'm interested to see a little bit more of her.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see, like, I'm sure the other characters are going to make an appearance.
Yeah,
so
they have to.
I'm interested to see. We got a little taste of Ren, who is another teenage athlete that Lily becomes friends with towards the end.
Maybe
She's a soccer player
in the next one too.
And so I think that there'll be some cute moments with them if they are. So that I'm excited. Speaking of next things,
yes. We are actually getting to interview Cass Morgan, the author of this book that we just reviewed and Breadwinner. Yeah. We'll have that interview coming out mid-March. Yeah. Super excited to talk to her about her writing process, and she's been doing some killer art. Like, I'm so into it. I've ordered both. Like,
You did?
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. They sold out.
I know.
They sell out so fast. If you don't know, get on Cass's, find them on Instagram.
Yeah.
Find Cass, and also her wife.
They have a Instagram together called Two Femme Gems.
Yeah, so follow all the social media things. But
because they're so cute. And their communication, top tier. They have like a wife meeting every month or every week, something like that, and like talk about logistics of the world. Like, I don't even know.
I'm like, my wife and I do good if we can exchange some things like as we're falling asleep.
Or like decide dinner. Like, I can't, like a check-in.
If someone could just tell me where to eat every night, that'd be great.
But Alexa is not ADHD and Cass is ADHD. And I feel that so hard because I have ADHD. And my wife does not have ADHD.
Also same.
And so we go round and round. And so I'm like, maybe we need to have like wife meetings. Like maybe we need to have check-ins.
Can Alexa just come teach our wives how to deal with us?
I'll pay.
That'd be great.
It's fine. Yeah.
Could you do like a seminar?
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to have Cass on. I'm super excited. I can't wait to talk about art. I can't wait to talk about sports. I can't wait to talk about the books.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So that's mid-March.
Yeah.
And then our book for April, our episode will drop April 1st, is Windburn by Melina McKay.
Yes.
And it's like sapphic and witchy.
Which we love.
And I'm here for it.
I mean, you have witches.
Yeah, witches. So,
I've started reading it. It's got my interest. It starts off pretty cool. So
good. I haven't started it yet. But yeah, so download that book so that you can be caught up, or don't just,
or just listen to us.
Or just listen to us talk about it, because we're going to spoil it. So
yeah,
you don't even have to.
Yeah, we'll tell you what's happening.
Yeah.
We're real tired, y'all.
Okay, well, I think it's time for us to sign off.
Yeah, I think it's time for us to go to bed. All right. Thanks for joining us for episode 8. You guys are fantastic.
So great. Thanks
Please
for being
keep hitting
here.
us up on socials. We love all of you. Good night.